enough to call us at 516-572-7440. Yeah, so Mr. Matt Harvey, that's the in between the lines, and they're using phrases like, and they're not even being coy about it anymore. They've had enough with him that they're saying hard charging lifestyle and professional help, and it's like,
you know when it really started for me, when he stayed in the ninth inning.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that was Terry Collins' fault because. Would he give up a double or that long?
Yeah.
That's when you take him out.
Yeah.
Now you take him out. You don't double down and leave him in. That was the problem there. But no, he.
That was the beginning of, I think, what this Matt Harvey we kind of seen that he thought he was a guy.
And even that surgery last year was made up. It was such a made up surgery. He didn't need it. They just wanted to. They needed to put him by the weight. It's sort of the same thing they're doing with Familia right now too.
Yeah.
What is the Familia injury that he has now? Blood clot issue. Yeah, okay.
That's been the thing going around lately in sports. Blood clots. Chris Bosh. I mean,
right.
Mirza Teletovic.
So if they know
Familia,
problem, right? Why don't you just send him away somewhere? Put him on the disabled list and let him get help.
Yeah, well, he's well. That's the thing. People seem to think that if it's alcohol, you can be a functional alcoholic, but B, you can do your rehab while you still remain in your job because his job is just to pitch every 5 days, right? So he could do his other stuff. It's the drug rehab that's more intensive and more requires 100% focus.
He did it again now. Don't you think he's going to do it again?
Well, now I'm just thinking about. So now it's long been thought that he's going to become a Yankee or a Red Sox, right? Now is his signability value? He's a Boris client. So now, is he going to command that kind of money? The Yankees are having such a resurgent year right now, and they're going to be flush with cash because Sabathia's deal's over after this year. A-Rod's deal's over after this year. I think they should be out from under Gardner soon, right? Headley, they'll be out from under. So, and they got all these guys. They got Judge and Sanchez, and so they're going to be looking at Bryce Harper. There's a bunch of free agents that are going to be out there. Bryce Harper is a top
him
one.
Up for Washington myself.
Right, exactly. Bryce Harper's going to be a Yankee. So no longer does Matt Harvey, who it's funny because I almost wonder if it's a preemptive strike because Matt Harvey also is famously known for going to Derek Jeter's last game. Right? Yeah. I wonder if he was going to go to this Sunday's game. Oh, he's in Milwaukee, but he can't. But this Sunday's Jeter.
You never know Matt Harvey.
Exactly. Exactly. I can't make it. I've got a migraine. What's up behind? What is that? What is that Derek Jeter chant we hear behind you? Nothing. I'm watching Yankeeography.
And the best part is, did you heard that this morning? Those two models tweeted him on Twitter. Did you see that?
Who?
They tweeted him something about the Victoria's Secret model.
Well, I will say this about Matt Harvey. He was dating Adrienne Lima. Right? They were making out and all that stuff. There was spring training and everything.
She texted him a text this morning.
She goes to the Met Gala with her old boyfriend Julian Edelman.
Right.
So once again, the Patriots screwing over a New York team, and this is the best because this is how you know it's 21st century. She unfollows him on Twitter. That's how we say, we are so done. It's like, I'm unfollowing you on Twitter. And he's got to deal with that. And that just set him off.
Do you think he's justified in this?
Yeah,
he's got to realize, too.
What did he do? He didn't show up for a game in which he was never going to see the light of day. There was no way if they were in the 19th inning and every guy, was the only way Matt Harvey would have played in the game night before he was supposed to pitch a day game. Yeah. There was no way, unless he was a pinch runner in the 19th inning, was no other way he would have ever seen the field or anything in that game. But he's just, and this is how I talk to people who talk to some beat writers off the air. And in fact, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here tonight, so I would have had Adam Rubin. We could have had him for a long time tonight. But other guys, they'll just say, look, when they talk to Matt Harvey's high school friends, when they talk about Matt Harvey's college friends, everybody's answer is he's just and it's a 4-letter word. It's not a curse word, but it's a word you can't say on the radio. That's all their answer. They're like, Matt Harvey's a blank. That's what he is. He's a blank. This is a guy who wouldn't sign with the Angels unless they gave him a $2 million signing bonus. This is a guy, and when his father, who was a school teacher, said to him, "Hey Matt, if they gave you 1.995, would you sign?" He's like,
are you talking about that situation up in Boston when you go to the bathroom there?
Oh, what in terms of the racism?
No, when you have to go to the bathroom, they have those tubs.
Oh, the troughs?
The trough, yeah.
I think we talked about that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I had a conversation with someone about troughs.
Yeah,
I
call
forget.
Harvey that. In other words,
I think it was with Mark and his adventures.
Yeah. No, I was. I thought you were talking about Fenway Park with Adam Jones, right?
Yeah.
I remember 1987, August of 1987, being in Fenway Park the very first time, and I was 17.
Yeah.
And just the things that people were saying, the racial epithets people were saying in the section. I was with my dad. I was 17, and my dad goes, "We're leaving right now." And he took me out. I was 17. He took me out of there. He's like, "We are leaving right now. We are leaving right now." He's like, I can't stop these people because they will kill us. And I'm with my 17-year-old son, but we have to get out of here. This is wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I know back in 1987 that stuff was going on. It's a sad, it's a shameful thing that 2017 it's going on, but that's Boston.
And across the way, too, at Harvard. We were talking about that.
Unbelievable.
But, that was what Jeremy Lin said. He said he got more racism in the Ivy League than he did in the NBA. So.
Yeah, but funny thing, too, is, did you read the paper today or yesterday's paper? Antonio said the reason why he left is Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that's very funny. Yeah, there's been some pretty good quotes given, but recently by Mike D'Antoni, who's now on top of the world. Mike D'Antoni is on top of the world, said the reason he left is because of Carmelo Anthony. So he can say that. And then we know that who followed D'Antoni as coach?
What's his name?
Woodson.
Mike Woodson left because of Phil Jackson. Then who followed him? Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher left because of Phil Jackson and Carmelo. So now you got Hornacek, and now the latest thing is all the players are grumbling because they hate Kurt Rambis. They're like, what is he, the defensive coordinator?
He's a snitch for Jackson.
They despise. Yeah. So they're saying the problem is Kurt Rambis. They despise Kurt Rambis.
He's the new Herb Williams.
Yeah, well, Herb Williams was a good man. Herb Williams was the lifetime Patrick Ewing backup, just a good guy, whatever. They kept him around because he played the game and he knew the game.
And you know what?
Rambis is he's the snitch
he was a star of the show, and Carmelo Anthony says no, he's got to go, and that's why they traded Jeremy Lin.
No, he was a free agent. The Knicks could have matched the contract, and they didn't match it.
It's amazing that what's going on with the Knicks, and somehow the Rangers. Maybe it's because when they had Tortorella, he probably put a stop to it. It's amazing that the Rangers aren't having the same fate as the Knicks. Because generally the Knicks and the Rangers have the same fate, but right now the Knicks have all their problems, and the Rangers are just doing their thing. They lost, but they have a good winning attitude, and they got the right players and young guys who are good character guys and everything. So high character guys.
I just got a question for you guys. What do you think is worse, being a Net fan or being a Washington Capitals fan?
Well, Ovechkin, right? At least Ovechkin is on the Capitals.
They don't make it to they don't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They always lose in the second round every year.
Because they always play the Penguins. Because it's Crosby against Ovechkin.
More valuable if you said like the Nets and like the Cleveland Browns. That's how bad the Nets are.
How about the Nets, Nets and the Clippers?
What I'm really trying to say is, because I want to bring up the Capitals, because like that team should be in a Stanley Cup final every single year. Yep. They're like the Bengals. Like,
they can't get over their own. Yeah, they can't get out of their own way.
And now the new format, well, not new anymore, of the playoffs makes it harder for them to go to the Stanley Cup Finals because they had to play Pittsburgh every year.
Every year, and Crosby and Ovechkin came into the league the same year, I think.
Well.
So Ovechkin
was drafted the year before.
They had the lockout. Yeah. So just think about that. So you've got the other number one overall pick was Tavares, right? He's not in the playoffs. Ovechkin's out.
You heard that?
Who, Tavares?
Yeah, that's a big rumor going around. You heard that?
Well, I don't. He's going to get max money with the Islanders no matter what he does.
He comes to no Rangers.
But the thing is this Belmont hockey arena going to get built?
Well, it's supposed to be. There's local politicians there, the Solage family. They're trying to get public hearings so that the community has a say.
The people of Belmont get screwed all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to. I live close to there.
Yeah.
And if I take the local road, I have to come up Belmont to get to Nassau.
Think about what Cross Island's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be, and they got to put a spur.
That's
the Long Island Road is there, but it's got to be a spur. They got to, they have to have a real platform. We saw.
They renovated it.
They did.
Now there's a real platform. Yeah. There's no more hand switches over there.
And that's one of the things we have to root for. Yeah. We have to root for the Preakness to be won by that horse, Dreaming, whatever it's
the Brooklyn-owned horse, right?
It's the local horse, yeah. Because when there is a shot at a Triple Crown. The Belmont is so exciting. The Belmont Stakes. You get 100,000 people going to it.
90,000 now.
Yes.
Yeah,
They capped it.
Feel it. And
Yeah,
they
and I know I want. I've never taken my kids to it, but I probably won't take the Belmont Stakes. But just Belmont is fun. It's a good thing to go
July
to.
4th weekend is a good weekend.
I know my dad used to always like rent out for a bunch of friends. They chip in for breakfast at Belmont, so you'd have brunch and everything. And Wellington Mara, the owner of the Giants, was always there. And for whatever reason, he always thought he knew my dad. He was like, "Come on over here, sit with me. Come on, sit with me." He probably thought he knew him or something.
Upstairs, it's really nice. What is it? The 4th floor.
That's where we would go there until we watched them have to put a horse down while we're eating our steak and eggs. And it was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. It's like, I think I was engaged at the time. Like, yeah, don't expect to see us again because the Whites to be didn't really like it. It was like it was strange. I think they put 2 down that day.
Did you go to the new Coliseum yet?
I went to it for the tour.
NYCB Live.
Yeah, NYCB Live.
I was going to say, why is Belmont the only place not to have the name NYCB on it? NYCB Theater, NYCB Cradle of Aviation.
NYCB's on everything. Except they don't name all their banks. They let their banks keep their names. Like Roslyn keeps their name and Restore.
Garden State.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Belmont Arena they're talking about here is that you got the Wilpons involved, you got the Dolans involved. Right. And there's one of their big sports team local area. Dolans, Wilpons, okay. And the Islanders, right? Yeah. So Wang. Wong, but now it's
he's still involved.
He's a minority, but now it's Ledecky and Malkin. Yeah.
Where exactly would they put this arena in Belmont? I want to know where.
You ever see where all those cars are? The brand new cars they park in the parking lot.
I drove past there,
right there.
Cars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are they gonna do with all those cars now too? Where would they put all those cars?
Those cars get taken away
for
when
it's
racing season. So it's they have them there in the winter and all that stuff, and then they go.
Well, they got to move for the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah,
they got to get
absolutely,
out of there.
Absolutely. I don't. If you ever look, I see those new cars stored everywhere.
Yeah,
if you ever see the Long Island Railroad,
Field.
they're stored. Yeah, exactly. They're stored everywhere. So. I guess these are very optimistic car dealers. That's like, we're going to sell this many cars.
It's not like the fancy car dealers where they know how many they're going to make for the year.
Yeah.
And so if you want that specific car, say Maserati, you have to wait maybe 3 to 4 months.
That's what I'm calling the Nintendo Switch and Bait. My son's birthday, March 3rd, the Nintendo Switch came out. I can't find one of those things anywhere. They only made a few of them. I mean, they made a couple, but it's like I can't find them anywhere.
It's smarter business practice that way.
Absolutely.
That way.
But the thing is, there's such a shelf life for those kind of things to where people get tired of it after a certain time. Like I just had this conversation the other day. What was this past Christmas? What was the big toy that everybody wanted? It was the Hatchables. Hatchables?
Yeah.
The Hatchables. You go to a store now, Hatchables are everywhere. They can't give them to you for free. But at Christmas time, I was like, I'm not going to have a Hatchable for my kid.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
I thought it was
blah,
Tickle
blah.
Me Elmo for Christmas.
That was a long time ago.
Do you remember? How about remember Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, sure.
That was unbelievable.
Beanie Babies.
You couldn't get nothing for Christmas.
Well, but Beanie Babies are a big collectible and a fad and a trend, but they weren't the must-have for Christmas. To where I'm not a good parent if I don't get my kid blah blah blah.
Furby.
Kind of Furby. Furby was big. Was it this Christmas too? It came back this Christmas. The Furby. Yeah.
That's the one with the eye, like the owl looking thing.
Right. It's almost like a gremlin looking thing.
I should have known I was going to be a Jets fan from when I was younger because when I was a little kid, I really loved the Hess trucks.
That's another one too.
Hess trucks back and they're better than. Oh we've been collecting the Hess trucks. My brother has since the 70s. So we've got a.
Do you collect the Speedway trucks now too?
My brother. Well, I'll get to that in a second. My brother gets my 2 sons a Hess truck every year they've been alive. So we have those. And one time I was at like a church sale, like something, and there was an old lady. She was selling Hess trucks, and she had like an 84, and she had like a 79 and 81. And she's like, "Oh yeah, my husband collected these, but he died." And she's like, "So I'm selling." And I'm thinking, "Oh my God! Number one, you're pulling at my heartstrings."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, lady, don't try that on me. I want these damn trucks," kind of thing. On the flip side, so
did you buy them? Or not?
Yeah, I bought them. And I only had enough money on me for like 2. And I wish I had bought so many more because she had tons of them. I mean, she had like 10 of them.
What was she selling them for?
Like $20. Yeah, it was like
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. This is about. Let's see, my son's in.
Did you have any
probably about 6 years ago.
Did you have any first edition comics too?
But exactly. What is this? Superman 1. Holy cow! No, but the Speedway truck. So now Speedway went and repurposed all of the Hess things.
There's still Hess trucks.
Yeah.
Hess sells because Hess still sells gas. They just sold their retail division.
Right. You got exactly.
So you have to go through a different avenue to get a Hess truck.
You got to order online. It's like a Hess truck online or something.
On Long Island. It's on Route 112.
Really? There's a Hess station?
Yeah, Hess still there. Yeah.
Well, that's like I'm so angered by